stopwatch.
All right. We ready?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the South Jersey Soccer Cast, where we discuss the Union, MLS, the U.S. national teams, and more.
I'm Matt.
And I'm his father, Jim. Welcome to a special early edition of the show. We're doing this date earlier than usual because the conference semifinals are on Thursday this week, and we wanted to get this out before the game started, so we're doing it Wednesday night, publishing Thursday.
And also, we're going to be at one of them on Thursday, so we can't record it then.
That's spoiler, man.
Wow.
You blew it. We were going to say that later. Anyway, we'll have a recap of the first round, preview the next one, but first, let's dig into some of the news. There's a report out from the MLS Players Association detailing lots of things about players' salaries. It's a fun little website you can go to, check it out, look at your favorite teams, your favorite players, least favorite teams, least favorite players, see what they're spending, see who's making the big bucks, who's the steal of the league, who's got a really bad contract for their team, all that fun stuff. There's just a lot of stuff to unpack, and I think we don't have time to do that now. So, Matt, what do you think? Ripe for an off-season
Absolutely.
show?
Absolutely.
Right.
But we could also just get a little rundown on it so far.
Hit some highlights.
Yeah. So Toronto has spent the most in guaranteed salary this season at $32.2 million. And the opposite end of the spectrum, you got the Red Bulls at $9.6 million.
Also not surprising because they're notoriously stingy, apparently.
Yes. And the Union are at $10.4 million. That is the second least. And
yes,
Montreal is at $13.1 million.
That's pretty good. So
yeah.
the two teams basically that are the best of the East at the moment spent very little relative to everyone else.
Yes. And also, interestingly enough, Insigne is guaranteed at $14 million per year, which is more than the entirety of the Red Bulls, the entirety of the Union, and the entirety of Montreal.
Yeah, but he's got this weird partial year contract though?
Sure, but he's also signed for multi-years.
Okay, so maybe that's just weirdness because of the partial year he's getting this year.
Yeah, and even if you cut it in half, it's what, $2.5 million less than the entirety of the Red Bulls?
Yeah, something like that. That's pretty crazy.
It's still an insane amount of money.
Yes.
But looking at it, I'm kind of going back on my coach of the year thing. I'm seeing Union second least spent in guarantees, and Union top of the East fought for the Shield.
Yes.
I kind of have to say Jim Curtin's done the most with the least amount spent.
Yeah. But, I still think, a lot of these coach of the awards across all sports, not just the MLS, a lot of these things tend to go to who improved their team the most.
Yeah, and who defied expectations the most. Yeah.
So it's still an uphill battle for Jim Curtin.
Yeah, sure. But looking at it, it's like, well, arguments it can be made. Because Wilfried Nancy is getting a lot of credit, and he absolutely should, but he spent about $3 million more than Union and didn't achieve as much.
Yes, you are correct, but he also improved a lot.
Yes, I just think
with a small amount of spend. So
yeah, I just think dollar for dollar, pound for pound, the Union are getting the most out of their players, and that is because of coaching.
Well, yes, I agree. like I said, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I be just because I think of the way people like the improvement story more.
Yes. I will say that there's no bad decision between the two. Whoever, either Jim Curtin or Wilfred Nancy wins, I'll be happy with.
Yeah,
It's just, I think it's closer than people realize.
yeah. I'm still sticking with my prediction that Wilfred Nancy will win.
Yeah,
So that's good, and he's going to deserve it if he wins.
absolutely. He does.
So all right, well that's some fun stuff. So other fun things that are going on in the MLS here. The newly announced year-end awards. So those are starting to roll out. 3 of them just came out. Young Player of the Year. It's Jesus Ferreira. So we had him picked when we did our show last week. So I think that's good. I figured he got the buzz at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking either Ferreira or Thiago Almada from Atlanta.
Yes.
They're both fantastic players, but strikers win awards.
Yes. Unless you're Defender of the Year, then a striker doesn't win that one.
Yeah. So who
So
did win Defender of the Year?
Defender of the Year came out. That is Jacob Glesnes. So that's one for the Union there. Glesnes is absolutely deserving. Last week we both talked about, Wagner should win it. But I said it probably won't be him
Yeah.
for all the same reasons. Glesnes got some flashy highlight, super defensive stuff, and Wagner did his job, and attacks evaporated. And the people that can't follow everything and watch every minute of every game, they saw the highlight reels, they saw Glesnes more. And I think he's absolutely deserving. But,
I think he's deserving too, but there is an argument to be made, a funny one, that Glesnes is only the third best defender for the Union. So it, while deserved, you could also say, well, Wagner also deserved it, or Elliott deserved it.
yes.
Yeah, I'm very happy for Glesnes.
Yes. And when this came out, I was like, my first thought was, wow. Yeah, it's just between all of the Union defenders, none of them really stood out head and shoulders above the rest because they were all that good.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to hurt them. So it was nice to see Jacob Glesnes getting it. Then, speaking of Union and defense, the brick wall Andre Blake won goalkeeper of the year. Also our pick. I don't know. That was a bit of a homer pick. I think we got lucky. What do you think?
Well, I mean, he was just the best keeper this year.
Yes.
And
Best keeper probably in recent memory.
well,
Overall.
I mean, no other keeper has more than 2 goalkeeper of the year awards. Blake has 3. So
Yes.
I think you could say he's the best in MLS history,
Okay, maybe.
if
But
not best, top 2, top 3.
yeah, probably. I mean, that's tough. Let's see. I'm real happy for him. Definitely deserved the shutouts, the super heroic saves that he's had to pull off to keep the ball out of the net, to allow the Union to give up a record-setting 34 goal season, lowest number of goals against.
26 goals against.
Yes, at 26. It's a 34 game season.
Yes.
So, yes, 26 goals against really helped them with their super crazy goal differential. I mean, obviously, if you only give up 26 goals, that's amazing. But if you only score 27, you're probably not winning many games.
No.
And the Union just went crazy with goal differential as well. So that was great. So, probably next year next month or next week there will be. See, I'm stumbling over words here. next week there will probably be another crop, and we'll cover them when they come out.
Yeah, it seems like every few days another award is
Yeah,
announced.
yeah, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You want to get the buzz. You don't want to
Yeah.
hit everything with it all at once, and then things get lost in the shuffle. You want to hit them.
And earlier in the week, Ishmael Elfath won Referee of the Year. So
Yes.
yeah, it's just every few days another one is announced.
Yep. So that's good. The last news item I have here is what's the weirdness going on with the away fans out in the Western Conference?
So
I mean, this is not just one team. This is both games.
yes, both
Okay.
Austin and LAFC have some contentious opinions about away fans and away support. So Austin are not allowing the away end to have any kind of instruments. So like no drums, no horns, none of that stuff. This isn't the first time that Austin's messed with away support. So in their first season, last season, they said we're not going to have any kind of away allocation, which goes directly against MLS's rules. They received a lot of feedback and a lot of pushback. They eventually said, you know what, fine, we're going to have away section. Tickets are super expensive though. They're $70 per person.
Wow, that's a lot.
They brought it down to $59 per person. Although apparently Austin tickets everywhere in the stadium are just so much money.
Okay.
They also said for supporters groups, you're going to have to buy them all as a block or you get nothing. So you can't have people buying singular tickets as the game gets closer and closer and they're like, oh, actually I can make that game.
Oh,
So
that's tough.
It's all at once and nothing more.
That could be rough.
Yeah. So Austin's had a lot of history behind going against away fan culture in MLS.
Well, maybe the other teams they play when they have to travel, maybe the other team should start slapping some restrictions on them.
Yeah.
Keep their fans out. But then maybe their fans
you
don't travel anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to normalize it. You don't want to say, well, this is going to become the new normal thing.
Well, I mean, just for them.
Even so, you don't want to punish groups of fans because the team is doing something wrong.
No, it's true.
You know?
All right.
So
I'll give you
LAFC, in a similar vein, have cut down the usual 600 tickets that they allocate for away fans down to 285.
How big is that stadium?
I believe it's 200 or 28,500.
So,
which is just
out of
the minimum.
28,500, they were only giving 600 for away fans.
Yes, which
and then they cut it.
Yeah, it is more than the league minimum to 600. Going down to 285 is the minimum set by the league. Although it still sucks for like anyone that wants to travel because you're the Galaxy. You're in LA already. It's not that hard to go from the Galaxy to LAFC. You want to have away support. Yeah. It's important to soccer culture as a whole. And the Western Conference teams seem to be pushing hard against it.
Well, maybe the league should adjust the rule book a little.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. So it just seems like weirdness. Maybe they're looking for a playoff edge.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean,
then why not do it during the season too, right?
Yeah. Like you essentially just cut it in over half, going from 600 down to 285.
Yeah. That's.
And I get tickets are in demand, but now you've just increased the demand for the away fans.
Right. And you're gonna get the most rowdy, most passionate, crazy. And you know what? Away fans are gonna buy tickets in your regular sections. Maybe not your supporter section.
Yeah.
But they'll get the regular tickets. And if enough of them show up, that might be weird.
Yeah, it's something to look out for. I
Yeah.
hope the league does something about it, because having that away section chanting and singing their team on really enhances the game day experience.
Yes. I agree. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the news I had. We good?
Yeah, that's all I got for the news.
All right. Let's roll into match recap. So, what has happened last weekend? So the last weekend, they had 3 days worth of games: Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 2 games each day. The first game of the playoffs were the New York Red Bulls were hosting Cincinnati. Cincinnati won the game 2-1. So the Red Bulls, who have, as we learned earlier, spent the least amount of money, um, bounced out of the playoffs. But they were in the playoffs at least, so that was good.
And had a home game.
And had a home game, and this was kind of expected.
Yeah, a lot of people said that Cincinnati would go through.
Yeah, that was you know what a lot of people were expecting. I think it has to do with the Red Bulls are not built to beat teams that play soccer the way they do.
Yes. Also, the Red Bulls are just bad in attack. They
Yes.
don't have many star attackers. Like, they had Luquinhas
Right.
and Lewis Morgan. Lewis Morgan celebrated his goal, got injured, had to get subbed out, and he was the only effective attacker that day.
Yeah.
So him getting subbed out early in the second half killed pretty much any chance of the Red Bulls going through.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's tough. But, of course, a lot of the Red Bull fans were thinking that they just lose in the playoffs anyway. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like they're cursed or something. I don't know. Or they fold. Anyway, so over in LA, the Galaxy hosted Nashville. That was a 1-0 result. The Galaxy won. Basically, watching the game, MVP Hani Mukhtar was either neutralized by the Galaxy or didn't show up. It's hard to.
MVP candidate.
Well,
It's not official yet.
not official yet. Okay. That is probably going to be the last one that they release.
Yeah.
But all right, Golden Boot winner. How's that?
There you go.
Because he did get that.
He has won that.
He has won that.
Yeah.
So either he was totally shut down by the Galaxy or he just had a bad game, and Nashville really looked overmatched, even though they only lost 1-0.
Yeah. I mean,
It was
the Galaxy were just wasteful in attack. Just that final ball or final cross, that just one pass right before the shot just wasn't good enough.
yeah.
And it just killed opportunity after opportunity for them. And
Yeah,
Nashville didn't look any better.
right.
Kenny Mukhtar was just quiet. He wasn't the best Nashville attacker on the day. It was Schaffelberg.
Right.
And, you know, the Galaxy just seemed in control. I mean, Ricky Puig just completely controlled the midfield. He was everywhere that day.
Yeah.
So he's going to be real impressive next season if he keeps up like this.
Right. Again, but I didn't get a lot of good feeling from the Galaxy.
I mean, if
They-
they control the game they did against LAFC, they have a shot.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I wanted to see something more.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that they're going to be able to hang with LAFC. So we'll see.
Well, we can talk about that when we get to that section.
Yeah. All right. So Sunday, down in Austin, Real Salt Lake came to visit. Ended up a tie at the end of regulation time, went to extra time. Still ended up as a draw, went to penalty kicks. Austin was at home. RSL went down to 10 men before the 60-minute mark.
So
For as good as Austin is,
most of the match they were playing with 10 men.
yes, because of the extra half hour.
Yeah.
For as good as Austin was supposed to be, I thought that should have been an easy win.
Yeah.
Especially with things
they just
the way they unfolded.
Yeah. They weren't convincing.
No, I did not feel convinced either.
And like they had multiple great opportunities, but it was just inches offside.
Yes.
And attack dead. You put the ball in the net, you're offside. So
Yeah.
it doesn't count.
Right.
And it's just they were sloppy.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity and late into the second half, into extra time. You still didn't do anything with it.
And you were up and you had a man advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be worrying for Austin fans, I think.
Yeah. Although also kind of easing because you just controlled the match.
That's true.
You didn't manage to score the winner, but you still controlled it.
Yeah. And then also on Sunday, Montreal hosted Orlando City. And watching that game, Orlando just looked spent. They looked like they were out of gas.
Yeah. And Montreal were just better.
Yeah. It just, yeah, that was it. Montreal looked good. Orlando looked spent. Maybe they've just too much, not enough left in the tank to hang with the second best team in the East.
Yeah.
Some people will argue the best team in the East. We'll see. We'll see who, or at least, favorite to go to the Cup final. Anyway, we'll see how that works out. But yeah, Orlando just didn't look good. Then Monday night, New York City against Inter Miami over at Citi Field. Ended up 3-0 New York over Miami. Miami was just bad. So
they just didn't look like
Florida.
Yeah, they didn't look like a playoff team.
No, they didn't. And NYCFC did.
Yeah, they were like completely run out off the field.
Yeah,
and
that was.
It's a shame that Gonzalo Higuain's career ended that poorly because the team just were bad.
Yep. Yeah, it's a shame. Yes, but somebody had to lose that game, and unless they were going to win the cup, he was going to go out on a losing note. So
yeah, it just, I don't know. Maybe should have put up a better fight for him.
Yeah, well, I would have hoped so.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last match of the weekend, FC Dallas hosted Minnesota, 1-1 draw, 5-4 on the penalty kicks. Dallas goes through. What's going on in Texas with all these penalty kicks? It's like, come on, somebody win a game.
Yeah, both Texas teams went to penalties at home against a lower seed.
Yes.
I don't know. They had a few bad misses. And that costs you in playoffs. Yeah. It costs you to play another 30 minutes. And if you're either of the two LA teams, you're looking to play, or you're really looking forward to playing whoever wins this Texas matchup.
Yes,
because they both went to extra time and they both didn't look convincing.
And they're going to have shorter rest than you.
Yeah.
Because LA's happening tomorrow night on Thursday. And I believe the other two games are on Sunday.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how that works out. So, yeah. So far, so good. Hope nobody's bracket is busted too badly.
Well, mine's busted.
Yeah. Well, everybody, Yeah, that happens. What can you say?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not busted too bad and you still have your two teams in. But
For
go
the
to the
cup,
final.
yes.
At least you got that still.
Yeah, but that could change.
Yeah, could you
in an
imagine you had
instant.
Nashville winning the cup?
Yeah, well, almost did.
Yeah.
Almost did. But
Yeah.
no.
So that's what happened over the weekend. It was fun. I liked the format of having the two games where you could just watch one then the other, then the next day watch one then the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I liked Monday night. That felt weird. Maybe it should have been Friday, Saturday, Sunday instead of Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but
Yeah.
okay.
Well, it happens.
I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And of course, the Yankees were rained out while NYCFC was playing over in Citi Field.
So
because that was a mess.
yes, and they ended up watching the NYCFC game on
Yes, apparently in the
Jumbotron.
stadium.
Yeah.
And then eventually they postponed the game to the next day, and well, that
That
is
was-
its own story.
Yeah.
This
Huge
is not
mess
an
there.
MLB playoff podcast, so
No.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I do believe the Yankees will still hang on to their field for a little while because they are still playing. I'm not sure if could NYCFC host anyone in the East. Cincinnati, right?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe there's another game for Citi Field. I don't know. That would really bust my bracket for sure. Anyway, so coming up, do you want to do these in order, or do you want to do?
We could do them in order. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
So
starting tomorrow night.
tomorrow night, Thursday night, 8:00 Eastern Time, Philadelphia is hosting Cincinnati. Looks like the way the betting is going, Philly is heavily favored. So people willing to put up money
Yes.
are expecting Philly to win.
They are the heavy betting favorite.
Yes.
Although I know a lot of people are saying, well, actually Cincinnati's the favorite. And they are looking pretty good to advance.
Yeah. But you'd think if that was the case, there'd be more money on them.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe Cincinnati fans just aren't a betting type.
Maybe.
But
Yeah. I think it should be a good game. I mean, the two teams are very familiar with each other,
yes.
thanks to, there's some people in the Philly fan base that will call them the Union Juniors,
Yes.
which
Oh,
I
they
don't
kinda
think
are.
so.
They kinda
I
are.
don't like that.
I mean, they have quite a few former Union players and
Yes.
Union front office. So there's a
But-
lot of familiarity, but it's going to be a tough game regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Because Bedoya is out injured. He's not going to start the game. Jim Curtin said, if necessary, he will be subbed in,
Yes.
but he will not start.
Yeah, I'm expecting something like Decision Day,
Yes.
where he comes in maybe even later than he did on Decision Day.
Yeah.
But, he comes in as a sub towards the back half of the second half, and I think that would be good.
Mhm.
I hope he's healthy and taking care of his injury, because you don't want these injuries to linger. I mean,
No. And you don't want him injuring himself, but you win the game and now you're forced to not have Bedoya at all for the Eastern
Right.
Conference final.
yes. But then the flip side of that is if you don't play him and then lose,
Yeah.
where's that got you, right?
Yeah.
It got you out of the playoffs is what it did. I'm thinking the stadium's going to be crazy loud.
Yes.
I am looking forward to that. That should be fun.
Again, it's going to be a tough game. Cincinnati's always played the Union hard this season.
Yes.
It was one of their few losses. They lost 3-1 in Cincinnati, but they drew in Chester. So
Yeah.
it's just going to be a tough game for the Union.
Yeah, I think Subaru Park is going to be especially hard place to play
Yes.
for Cincinnati.
Yes.
I think
It's one of the hardest places to play right now in the
yes,
league.
yeah, and it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to going.
Yeah.
So we will be there, which means we're going to be listening to the LA game on the radio, trying to get out of the parking lot.
Yes.
We'll
The
probably
El
get to listen to the
Trafico
whole
playoff game.
while in El Trafico.
Yeah. Trying to leave the stadium. Yeah.
We will probably be listening to the game at least through halftime before we get to the bridge. It's just going to be crazy.
I am expecting a Galaxy upset
Okay.
over LAFC.
Yeah,
Maybe not expecting. Expecting might be the wrong word to use, but predicting a Galaxy
okay.
upset.
Yeah, my prediction is still LAFC at home.
Yeah,
Galaxy didn't convince me.
No, but LAFC hasn't convinced me recently.
That's true.
They just haven't been in good form.
They yes, you're right. It's tough. I think it'll be a tough game.
Yeah, it's going to be they're all going to be hard games, but the Galaxy have just gotten the better of LAFC in El Trafico matchups since both teams are in the league, and I'm expecting no different.
Yeah, if this was an El Trafico on decision day, neither of the teams were going to make it to the playoffs. It's going to be a brutal game anyway.
Yeah,
nothing to play for. Now there's a lot to play for. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. They're going to be. I would not be surprised if the Galaxy win, just because this is a super contested rivalry game, and who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's one of those things.
Yeah, and LAFC just haven't done well in playoffs. There's a lot of pressure on them right now.
Yes, all the pressure's on them.
Yeah.
They won the Shield. They're expected to win it all.
You brought in reinforcements to win it all. You've brought in Chiellini. You've brought in Bale. You've brought in these other big name players. And you're facing your cross-city rival at home.
Who would love nothing better than to send you home.
Yeah.
And go off to Texas.
And also the Galaxy have improved. Since Ricky Puig has been in the Galaxy, they looked like a good team.
I think there's going to be a slight edge to LAFC.
Yeah, it's going to go down to who can finish better at the end of the day. And honestly, I've not been convinced by LAFC. They create so much, just like the Galaxy did in that Nashville game. But
they don't finish.
I don't think either team does.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hard game no matter what. It's going to be a game of inches.
Yeah.
One mistake will seal that.
Yep. And we'll see who makes it.
Yeah. And I think if LAFC go down at all at any point in the game, they're done. They crumble.
Yeah. So you think if the Galaxy
score first, they win.
What if the Galaxy score the second goal first? So that they go up 2-1. You think they would still crumble?
Maybe. Depending on how it works.
Okay.
Because if LAFC score first, Galaxy fight back 2-1, I think they do. But again, if I feel like if the Galaxy have a lead at any point, LAFC is done.
Okay. We'll see how that works out. That would be interesting. That would be an interesting story. It would make for a very painful to watch game if it happens early, but it would be very exciting if it happens late.
Yes.
So, yes, we'll see how that works out.
It'll also be an exciting game if it happens early because LAFC's going to have to chase it. And they're going to fight hard and they're going to make more mistakes. I think if they're a well-structured team who attack as a team, not as individuals like they have in the past, I think they'll get it done. But if they have to chase a game, I don't think they have it in them.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll listen to it on the radio. Watch it when we get home.
Yeah.
Gonna
If it's still on.
if it's still on.
Yeah. For back in time.
Yes. I think it starts at 10:30.
I think
Which
so.
probably means that kickoff's almost 11.
Yeah.
It should still be on by the time we get home.
Hopefully.
I mean, as bad as the traffic leaving Subaru Park is, it's not that bad.
Yes. But also you need to go to extra time and pay PKs. So that'll just delay it.
Yeah, that's true. Let's hope not, because you know what?
Yeah.
You know, I don't feel like having to drag people out with heart attacks.
Yeah.
I don't, and I also don't want to be drug out of the stadium because I had a heart attack either.
Yeah.
All right. So then on Sunday, Montreal's hosting New York City.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Montreal is going to put away New York City.
yes, me too.
I mean, going to Canada in the playoffs is never easy.
Nope.
Especially in October when it's nice and cold there.
Yeah. Didn't wasn't there some stat that said like no U.S. based team has won a playoff game in Canada yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
it's never easy to do.
Never good. And I think Montreal's the better team.
Mhm. Although New York City have played real well recently.
Yeah.
And you saw it in the Miami game. So you're going to have two teams that are hot right now, and they're going to want to go to Philly
Yes.
and upset the Union if they get through.
Of course.
Or if not, you want to play Cincinnati at home.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that'll be a hard fought game. That's gonna be tough. Two teams in very good form playing each other.
Again, all these games are going to be hard fought. You're in the conference semifinals. You're good
true.
for a reason.
That's true.
There
are no underdogs anymore.
No, not really.
Not really.
Yeah. You are at minimum a top 10 team in the league.
Yes, we're down to 8 teams. There are no underdogs anymore. You know.
And when it gets to this point in the bracket, anything can happen. Anyone can win.
Yes. I think once you get through the first round of playoffs in any playoff system, there's the underdogs are gone.
Yeah.
All right, so then the last game of the weekend will be Austin hosting Dallas, as we were talking about earlier with the goofy fan stuff. Watching the games, I felt like, maybe Austin was a little bit weaker than Dallas. So I'm still sticking with, I think Dallas probably wins this one.
I think Austin wins this because I do feel that Austin were the better team than Dallas.
Yeah.
Again,
right.
Austin had so many chances and so many attacks die because they were an inch or two offside.
Yeah, but they do that against Dallas. It's not going to work out well.
You stay on side, you stay back or a little further back, that 1 or 2 inches, you're putting 3 past Dallas.
You could be right. Yeah.
Because Austin were deadly on the attacks. They just strayed that slight bit offside.
Yeah. Oh,
Although
I can't argue with that point.
No, but also they needed a handball penalty to even tie the game up against RSL.
That's true.
So it really doesn't matter how dangerous you are if you still are offside. The goal will not count.
Yes, you're right.
I mean, both these teams were disappointing.
Yes,
in their games.
Yes, I was disappointed in both of them.
So
I thought there'd be more there.
Yeah.
But like I said, I thought Austin just felt a little weaker. I mean, I could be absolutely wrong. Maybe RSL is actually really good and they were on a mission because they were down to 10 men and they were just laying it all out there.
Yeah,
I mean, playing their guts out, and Austin was like, "Oh well, we should win," and not playing as hard as they, not being so connected and into the zone of the game like they should.
Yeah, Yeah, it was just slight mistakes from Austin that almost cost them the game. And as teams go down to 10 men, they can defend as a unit. And you have to defend as a unit to get this done.
Yeah.
And they almost did. They went to PKs. And honestly, RSL's penalties were just terrible. They just weren't good.
Yeah, the third one was
Austin advanced because they took great penalties.
yeah.
They were better.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, how many? You just don't kick penalties over the course of the season.
No, and you don't have 5 people that do.
Right.
You have 1 or 2.
Right.
That's it.
You don't even go to the shootouts. You get what, a PK every couple games, and one person takes it.
Yeah. It's
Maybe
not your
2.
5th person, 5th
Yeah.
choice penalty taker to take it. But I mean, I don't know. This Austin Dallas game is going to be interesting. I do have Austin in the cup final. I might change that later, depending. But I wasn't convinced by either team. They just weren't good enough. But
Yeah.
also, RSL in that Austin game didn't attack for like the last 60 minutes. They had 10 men behind the ball pretty much at all times. And that's hard to break down. And Austin almost did. So they can be
Yes.
scary.
But it's also inevitable. You can't keep that up forever because the attacking players only need to win once,
Well,
whereas the defenders have to win every time.
the thing is, RSL did do it.
Yes.
They did go to penalties, which is what they wanted to do. Because once that happens, anything can happen. It's just that RSL were just worse penalty takers.
Yeah.
So
Tough.
I think if Austin is that slight bit better, Austin's going to win comfortably.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Dallas had some poor misses in their game.
Yes.
So
I'm not convinced by either team either.
no.
I mean, yes, I'm still going to stick with Dallas going to the Cup final. And the more I'm thinking about it, if Dallas wins against Austin, the Galaxy beat LAFC. There's going to be like some sort of victory hangover coming out of LA, and Dallas might be able to put it together.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with them. It's who I predicted last week. I'm sticking with them.
Okay. What about in the
lose.
East?
I still think Philly's going to make it.
Okay.
I think they can. I think they will have 2 brutal games in a row.
Yes.
They're playing Cincinnati. They're going to play Montreal.
And then they're going to play Dallas.
Then they're going to play Dallas. And of those 3, I think the easiest one to win will be against Dallas. I don't know. Who knows? Like, you can have a bad 5 minutes and give up 2 goals and never be able to recover. So,
true. I'm going to stick with Montreal in the East for the Cup.
Yeah.
It's close. It's definitely tight, but
yeah.
I think Montreal has just something about them.
I think if they get to the Cup final, they win. It doesn't matter who they're playing.
Yeah. It's just going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
And I think Montreal's going to get the better of the Union somehow.
Okay. I hope that's not going to happen, but
I mean, also they could lose to New York City, and then who knows?
Right. Like all sorts of weird things could happen.
Yeah.
Because if Montreal does make it to the Cup final, the only other place it would be hosted would be at LAFC, correct? Because they finished ahead of Austin and the rest of the West.
Yes. And
that would be, that's not good for whoever they're playing.
No.
Because that's another game up in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you're Austin or Dallas used to this Texas heat, going up to Montreal in the fall, not fun.
No, not fun. Yeah.
So
As it should be. This should be a lot of fun going into it. The schedule is weird. Again, we were talking about the Monday night. I thought that was a little odd. Thursday night is also a little odd. I'm not sure why that is the way it is.
Well,
were they
you
trying to
don't-
not give the top seeds the full extra week of rest? I don't know.
yeah, I don't think they are. You don't want too much of a break in between decision day and when the first seeds play,
Yes.
because otherwise it's saying, well, you're now rusty.
Right.
Good job winning your conference. You're now at a disadvantage.
Yes, but it's been 10 days. It's not
Yeah.
like past years where it was you not only did you get a bye, but there was also an international break.
Yeah.
And then
So
now it's like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, a week and a half is all they are.
Mhm.
Which isn't terrible, especially late in the season.
no, I mean, I'm sure the players are happy to have this rest.
Yeah.
I mean, injuries can heal in that time. Unfortunately, Bedoya's didn't, but it's still more time than he would have had.
Yes. And it's also, oddly compressed because of the World Cup coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, they just have to get it in.
Yeah.
But, so, again, the schedule's a little off. I would have thought that they would have been weekend games, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it works out. Like, maybe this is a way to give the top seeds the advantage that they're trying to give without letting them get too rusty,
Yes.
like has happened in the past. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you're looking forward to for the weekend?
Not in MLS, no.
Anything outside of MLS?
I mean, football, but
The NFL?
But,
that,
yeah.
That other football?
yes. But no, nothing to discuss here.
Right. Well,
But-
because
Yeah, this is an MLS Union and US podcast,
yes.
not my opinion on the NFL.
Or the Eagles, who are the only remaining undefeated team so far this year,
Yeah.
or the Phillies, who are in the National League Championship Series.
Or the Sixers, who are supposed to be good, or the Flyers, who won a few games at the start of the season.
So, anyway, this town is sports crazy at the moment
Yeah.
because of all the other stuff.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes. So, all right. If that's it, we'll close out. Thanks for watching and listening to the South Jersey Soccer Cast. If you're on YouTube, please leave some comments. Let us know how we're doing. Then like and subscribe to get notified when we upload next week's episode. All right, Matt. Have fun tomorrow.
Yeah.
See you then.
See ya.